Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about being a place where you're not. Does it make sense, right? I think we probably can all relate to that. Being a place where you're not. That could be your mindset. That could be your goals. It could be spiritual, right? It can be anywhere, anyway, right? I found myself today feeling that way. Not feeling grateful, not feeling positive, not feeling uplifted or inspired or able to carry someone else through. A lot of my role that I do is I'm always trying to carry the next person into the next level, right? So, and that can be in any way. That can be in helping people grow, find jobs, help, whatever the case may be. I couldn't find it today. Couldn't find it for myself, okay? As you see, look a little ratty today, but I don't care. Because I felt like it was necessary to talk. And I think sometimes the misconception is someone that does a lot must mean that they, they're okay with it. Not necessarily. Sometimes that's just your way of pushing through. And it's not always the best thing, because then at the very end you find yourself very empty. And that's how I felt today. Felt very empty. Felt like I was fueling a lot of things, but then feeling some kind of way about doing it. Have you ever done so many things and then you sit back and be like, well, ain't nobody ever appreciate what I did. Well, you're supposed to do what you did because you wanted to do it. I'll wait. So, I guess maybe that's my lesson for today. I find myself in competition with myself a lot and wanting to always strive for the next level, right? And in the next level, I'm going to take this person with me, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to keep going here, and I'm going to go here. And then when I start to get that resistance, and I feel like I'm going this way, I explode. I get stuck. I feel overwhelmed, unappreciated, just wanting to get out. You ever seen that clip where the little boy is overthinking it? If you haven't, I'm going to put it in here now.
By creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that
Yeah, that's called overthinking it. It's overthinking it big time. To where you could get yourself out of a situation if you just stood up. But you decided to scream and holler and rant. Yeah, I did that today. I've actually done that for the last 2 days. Did a little bit. Well, no. I did a little bit last week. I did a little bit today and yesterday. Just ready to grow. Ready to grow. And getting frustrated at my own inconsistencies of growth. Because that's really what it is. And I guess that's my self-confession today. I thought I was at a level, and maybe some people can relate, thought I was at a level where I'm 100% confident in everything that I do. I'm such and such, such and such. I'm here and I do this and I've conquered this and I've done that and I'm here. Unapologetically me. But then I do it with a heart. Right? I like to say that I'm empathetic. I understand it where everybody's coming from. I feel what you're saying. But what does that do if you're not doing the same thing for yourself? I'm a firm believer in spa days and me taking care of myself and, taking that time. But if I'm rushing to do it and I'm not prioritizing the rest of my life, then I'm not going to enjoy my spa days, right? If I'm sitting there in the house and I'm preparing my nice hot bubble bath, but as soon as I'm done, I know that I've left a dirty kitchen or an unkept house, or my daughter still needs to go do this or whatever, not prioritizing right. And putting value and balance into your life means that you're checking off everything that needs to be checked off and prioritizing it, so then you can enjoy your times. So you don't feel like you've given so much to everyone else and given nothing to yourself. And standing in your truth, right? So standing in my truth, even though I thought that I was at a place where I'm comfortable in the skin that I'm in, I'm comfortable being in front of people, I'm comfortable, talking to large groups, I've overcome all of my insecurities. No, just cover them up with something else, right? Sometimes we cover it up with our accomplishments. Sometimes we cover it up by other people complimenting us in what we have accomplished. And that gives you a false sense of confidence. Okay? Someone else giving you a compliment based off of your accomplishments is a false sense of confidence. Okay? And I think that's where you can fall short and the ego can start to set in. And when you do feel that you're at a plateau with what you have going on in your life, you then see, well, I'm ready to level up. And then you think about the next level that you want to conquer, the next place you want to be, and you realize, what if I'm not good enough to level up? What if I'm not good enough to go the next level? What if I'm not good enough to be better than the person I was yesterday? What if I'm not qualified to move forward with my life? What if I don't deserve it? What do you do when you no longer just are thinking it, but you feel it? That's what I'm working through. Overthinking situations, feeling like I'm not going to be able to conquer the next level, feeling insecure, feeling insecure about what you look like, how you feel, how you're talking. I said that today. I actually said that I feel like I sound like a bumbling idiot, were my exact words to how I describe myself. They have, I watched this thing on, I'm a big Instagram person, and I watched, because they're small little clips, and I have short-term attention on certain things, and I saw this little therapy session where this guy went and interviewed all these young girls. I guess that was the thing, young girls. Went and interviewed all these young girls and said, write down all the things about yourself, how you feel about yourself. And they wrote down all these ugly things. You're ugly, you're fat, you're dumb, you're not as smart as this person, you're not as smart as that person, you're not as smart as your sister, was one of them. And he said, read them out loud. The young girls read each one of those things out loud. And they started to tear up and cry. Because they hurt, right? And I honestly felt that way today. Because I believe it. I think it and I feel it. I felt today that I was a communicating bumbling idiot. That I wasn't expressing my words when I was trying to compel my excitement about what I'm passionate about, and that I fumbled. And I haven't just done it today, I've done it for probably the last week. And every time I get in front of someone that I'm able to express how I feel about what I want to do, and bumbling idiot, you know, or looking in the mirror and saying, who is this? You know, this is not what I worked so hard on back in 2016. You know, 100 pounds lighter, discipline, self-control, motivation. 2017, 2018, I just started picking it all back up. Picking all the hard work, the weight and everything back up. So now I'm looking at myself today and don't feel as confident about that. Is it going to stop me from eating something that's chocolatey and delicious? Probably not today. So these young girls wrote down all these things that they felt about themselves, and they teared up and they read the list to the counselor, coach, whatever he was. And they started to cry. He says, you know, he comforted them, consoled them. And they said, you know, somebody here is here to make you feel good. And they brought out their sibling, which was their sisters. And they said, your list, read that list as though you're reading it to her, as though they're about her. Read off what you said. And they looked mortified. No, I'm not going to do that. He said, why not? I said, because I wouldn't say this about her. Why? You said it about yourself. I know, but it's mean. It's not nice. And so that was his thing to them. If you're not going to say it to someone you love, then why would you say it about yourself? I guess I could take the same concept, right? I wouldn't tell my daughter that she's a person that cannot communicate and she sounds like a bumbling idiot. I would never call my daughter an idiot, but I called myself that today. I would never sit there and tell a family member or a loved one or that they looked fat or out of shape or ugly. Or who are you? I literally looked in the mirror the other day and looked at myself. I said, who and what are you? I would never say that. So why would I say it to myself? So then that puts you in a place like you're in today, because you've created those negative thoughts and now you're feeling it. You're feeling it. How are you supposed to move through with the competition of yourself to better yourself when you're moving the finish line? Just yesterday, you were good enough. You were right here. Here's the finish line. You were right here. You said, I'm good enough. I'm happy. I'm content. I'm where I want to be. And then in less than 48 hours, you looked in the mirror and said, yeah, but you gained all this weight back. You don't have that full degree. You don't have that master's. You're not where you want to be. You know the things that you were blessed and you feel grateful for 3 days ago? Yeah, forget about that. How do you forget about something that you've already conquered? Doesn't make sense, right? And that's how I can think about it today. It don't make sense. So, you gotta work past it. You have to work past the oppression that you give yourself, because that's all you're doing. You're creating a place of negativity and a place of pain where there wasn't that. So what you have to do is think back inside yourself. It's hard, but think back inside yourself that gave you that confidence, that had the finish line right here, right? And you were right here. Think about that place and where you're at. Normally it comes from a place of being grateful, generally, right? Content. And you can still grow and move forward. But also remember to be grateful for what you've gotten. Be grateful that you're able to get up every day. Be grateful that even though you're a part of this crazy thing going on right now, called life, you're able to live it. That you're of sound mind. You might sound like a bumbling idiot today, but think about it this way, right? Do you always sound like that? No. So maybe you were just excited. Maybe there was something that you wanted to talk about so bad that if you were a dog and you had a tail, it would just fall off. You were just so excited. Ooh. So you couldn't get your words out right. Doesn't mean that you're less intelligent. This means that you're excited. And you'll have that chance. You'll have that chance to regroup your thoughts. You've shared your passion, and now you have to move on. You have to move on from that experience and say, next time, I'm going to talk slowly. Next time, I'm not going to be so excited. Next time, it'll be better. Everything you do is a rehearsal to where you will be. And I know that for a fact. Everything that has been placed in my life was nothing but a pure rehearsal for the actual day of showtime. And every time I go on stage and every time it's showtime, I show out. And that's where you should say, I'm good. I know in a bind, in a situation, in a room of growth, I know I will step up. I know I will conquer. And I know I'll be grateful afterwards. So next time when you look in the mirror, instead of saying, who and what are you? Say, I am whatever positive thing you are. And if you can't recognize yourself in the mirror, then maybe it's time for you to have a heart-to-heart talk and remember the things that are great about you. Because there's always something. Heart your mind. And trust me, if it's anything outside, anything that's the physical, all you have to do is just work on it. Work on it. It'll come. But the outside is not as important as what's on the inside. Okay? Your looks will fade. Weight will go up and down. Trust me, when you're 55 or 65 or 75, unless you're some type of supermodel, we're all going to get older. So the looks will be what they are. Worry about the inside, so then you can be that shining face. Like, there's just some youthfulness in you. Ain't nobody know where that's coming from. It's my insides. My insides are so beautiful and they shine so bright, it comes through and radiates through my skin. But yeah, so remember to love yourself. Remember that everything is a rehearsal for the main event. And remember when it's time to go on stage, that you show up, you show out, and you remind them who and what you are. Peace, be blessed. Many grateful and beautiful thoughts to you all, and see you the next time.